The first thing she noticed wasn't the expensive car waiting outside the hotel. It wasn't the polished suitcase resting beside the entrance or the sharply dressed guests walking through the revolving doors. It was the exhausted look in her own reflection on the glass. After working 2 jobs for months, surviving on little sleep, and carrying the weight of her family's future on her shoulders, 27-year-old Eliana Brooks never imagined that one ordinary daytime shift behind a hotel reception desk would become the turning point of her entire life. She thought she was simply helping a sick coworker by filling in for one day. She had no idea that before sunset, she would check in a mysterious millionaire whose quiet kindness would change everything she believed about hope, generosity, and destiny. If you believe that even the smallest act of kindness can create miracles and that everyone deserves a second chance, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness for more emotional stories that remind us how one good heart can change another forever. Eliana had never planned to work in the hospitality industry. She dreamed of becoming an elementary school teacher, but life had rewritten her plans without asking permission. After her father suffered a serious workplace injury and could no longer work, medical bills quickly consumed the family's savings. Her mother cleaned offices during the evenings while Eliana balanced a morning job at a neighborhood bakery and occasional shifts at the elegant Harbor Crest Hotel whenever someone called in sick. Every dollar she earned disappeared almost immediately into rent, groceries, medicines, and utility bills. She often smiled at strangers while quietly wondering how much longer her family could keep going. The Harbor Crest Hotel stood proudly in the heart of the city, welcoming business leaders, celebrities, tourists, and wealthy travelers from around the world. Crystal chandeliers sparkled in the bright daytime sunlight pouring through enormous windows, polished marble floors reflected every step, and fresh flowers filled the grand lobby with gentle fragrance. Everything about the place whispered luxury. Eliana often felt like she didn't belong there, but she worked harder than anyone else because she believed dignity came from effort rather than wealth. That bright Tuesday morning, the regular receptionist became ill without warning. The hotel manager desperately needed someone reliable to cover the front desk. Eliana accepted the extra shift without hesitation, even though she had already finished several exhausting hours at the bakery. She reminded herself that overtime meant groceries for another week. Her tired feet ached, but her warm smile never disappeared. Throughout the morning, guests checked in one after another. Some barely acknowledged her existence. Others complained about room preferences, parking arrangements, or the weather itself. Eliana patiently solved every problem, treating each person with the same respect regardless of how they treated her. She believed kindness revealed more about the giver than the receiver. Just after noon, a modest black sedan quietly stopped outside the entrance. There were no bodyguards, no photographers, and no dramatic arrival. A middle-aged man stepped out carrying only one small travel bag. His navy blazer looked expensive but simple. Silver streaks crossed his dark hair, and gentle eyes observed everything around him with unusual attention. He wasn't trying to impress anyone. The doorman greeted him politely before directing him toward the reception desk. As the man approached, Eliana noticed something unusual. Unlike many wealthy guests, he looked directly at her with genuine appreciation instead of looking through her. She welcomed him warmly, completed the paperwork efficiently, and explained the hotel's services with calm professionalism. While preparing his room key, she noticed an elderly woman struggling with several shopping bags near the entrance. Without thinking twice, Eliana apologized briefly to the guest, stepped away from the desk, helped the woman carry her bags inside, called someone to assist her with transportation, and returned only moments later. She expected the guest to be annoyed by the short delay. Instead, she found him smiling quietly, as though he had witnessed something valuable that money could never buy. The rest of the afternoon became increasingly busy. A family accidentally left an important backpack in the lobby. A frightened little boy became separated from his parents for several anxious minutes. A nervous young couple arrived early for a wedding celebration after their reservation seemed to disappear from the computer system. Eliana handled every situation with remarkable patience. She comforted the child until his relieved parents arrived. She located the missing reservation after carefully checking archived records. She personally made sure the forgotten backpack was returned before its owners even realized it was gone. Unknown to her, The quiet millionaire watched nearly everything from a comfortable chair overlooking the lobby. He wasn't studying the hotel's decorations or luxury services. He was observing the young receptionist who consistently chose compassion over convenience. The following morning, Eliana arrived for another temporary shift after receiving another urgent call from the manager. She wondered if yesterday's guest had already checked out. Instead, she saw him sitting peacefully near the lobby cafe reading a newspaper. He greeted her with a friendly nod before continuing his breakfast. As the hours passed, another unexpected challenge appeared. One of the hotel's newest employees accidentally made a costly booking mistake involving several executive suites. The frightened young worker stood on the verge of tears, convinced she would lose her job. Rather than blaming her or protecting herself, Eliana stayed after her scheduled shift to help reorganize reservations, contact arriving guests, and coordinate with housekeeping until every problem was solved. She accepted no extra pay and never asked for recognition. The hotel manager noticed everything but remained too busy to express his gratitude properly. The mysterious guest noticed even more. Late that afternoon, the man finally approached the reception desk once again. This time, instead of requesting hotel services, he simply thanked Eliana for treating every person with equal kindness. She smiled politely, believing he was simply being courteous. She had no idea that he was Nathaniel Mercer, a self-made millionaire known throughout the business world for investing not only in companies but also in people whose character inspired him. Nathaniel had grown up in poverty himself. Decades earlier, when he was a struggling teenager, one stranger's unexpected kindness had helped him find his first opportunity. He had promised himself that if success ever found him, he would spend the rest of his life searching for people who quietly deserved a chance. Before leaving, Nathaniel handed the hotel manager his business card and shared everything he had observed during his stay. He explained that exceptional customer service wasn't created by expensive furniture or luxury buildings. It was created by people with genuine compassion. He recommended Eliana without knowing anything about her personal struggles because, in his words, integrity could never be taught but only revealed. Several days later, Eliana received an unexpected invitation to interview at Nathaniel's charitable foundation, where they needed someone to oversee community outreach programs and scholarship initiatives. She almost declined, believing someone with her background could never qualify. Still, her mother encouraged her to believe that sometimes opportunities arrived wearing ordinary clothes. The interview felt different from every job interview she had ever attended. Instead of asking about impressive achievements, Nathaniel asked how she stayed hopeful during difficult times and why she continued helping strangers despite her own hardships. Her honest answers moved everyone in the room. She received the position that same week. The new role paid enough to cover her father's treatments, allowed her mother to reduce exhausting night shifts, and even provided educational assistance so Eliana could continue studying to become a teacher while serving families through the foundation. For the first time in years, the future no longer looked frightening. It looked possible. Months later, Eliana stood inside a newly opened community learning center funded by Nathaniel's foundation. Children filled bright classrooms with laughter while parents attended free career workshops and tutoring sessions. Watching those smiling faces, she realized that one ordinary day behind a hotel reception desk had created a ripple that reached hundreds of lives. Nathaniel never claimed he had rescued Eliana. Instead, he often said that she had reminded him why success mattered only when it lifted others. The greatest investment he ever made wasn't in buildings or businesses. It was in a woman whose kindness had remained unshaken even when life gave her every reason to become bitter. If this story touched your heart and reminded you that kindness always finds its way back, please like this video, share it with your family and friends, leave a heartfelt comment below, and subscribe to Ripple of Kindness so together we can spread more stories that inspire hope across the world. Special request. Before this story ends, tell us in the comments, what is one small act of kindness that changed your life or someone else's? Life rarely announces the moment everything is about to change. Sometimes it hides inside an ordinary daytime shift, an unexpected responsibility, or a simple choice to help someone without expecting anything in return. Eliana never knew she was checking in a Millionaire that morning, but the millionaire never expected to find someone whose greatest wealth was a compassionate heart. In the end, neither of them truly changed the other's life alone. It was kindness itself that opened the door, proving that every small act of goodness creates a ripple capable of reaching shores we may never even see.